Mike took pictures of old, forgotten places. He didn't like fake scares. He wanted the real kind of fear, the kind that stuck in your mind. He'd heard strange stories about Black Creek Valley. People didn't say it was haunted, but that it was just plain wrong. Old tales talked about the whispering child. She wasn't a normal ghost. She was an old ghost, a dark shadow shaped like a little girl. Like a dark spot that could never be removed from the valley itself. She didn't just appear, she did things, quietly, terribly. People said you never saw her clearly, just a dark shape that seemed to eat the light around it. But it was her actions that truly scared them, feeling tiny, ice-cold fingers touch you when no one was there. Hearing a faint, strange giggle that came from nowhere. And worst of all, the whispers. Not real words, just broken, mixed-up sounds that got inside your head and made some people slowly go crazy. Mike drove into Black Creek Valley late in the day. The air felt heavy, smelling of wet dirt and something very, very old. His GPS stopped working the moment he entered the valley, so he had to use an old map. He found the creek first. Its water was still and black like a mirror, showing the dark sky. The quiet here was so deep it felt like it was squeezing him. He set up his camera near some old, twisted trees. As evening turned to night, he felt the first sign. He didn't see it. A soft, almost silent whisper, like dry leaves sliding on the ground, seemed to brush past his ear. It was broken, didn't make sense, but Mike felt a cold fear spread in his stomach. He quickly turned around, camera ready, but saw nothing but the growing darkness. Then, at the edge of what he could see, near the roots of the oldest willow tree across the creek, he saw it, a pure black space, shaped exactly like a small girl. It was a shadow so dark it seemed to suck up the little bit of light left. It stood perfectly still, but as Mike watched, a small, dark hand, blacker than the night around it, slowly, carefully, closed into a fist, then opened again. It was a silent, scary movement. Suddenly, Mike felt true panic. He tried to focus his camera, but the screen flashed and went dark. He lowered it, his heart pounding. That's when the whispers got louder. They weren't just outside him anymore, they were inside his head. Lots of tiny, high-pitched voices, all mixed up, making no sense, but too much to handle. They pushed against his mind, like a silent, screaming noise. He stumbled backward over tree roots, the whispers getting louder and colder, as if the air itself was crying out in a language he couldn't understand. The shadow girl by the willow tree hadn't moved. But Mike felt strongly that all those whispers were coming from her, from that dark, empty shape. He fumbled for his keys, desperate to leave. Just as he grabbed them, a tiny, clear giggle, cold and dry like an old bone, came from right behind him. He didn't dare look back. He threw himself into his truck and put the key in. The engine coughed, then started. As he sped away, mud flying, he looked in his mirror. By the big entrance to the valley, almost hidden in the dark, was the shadow of the little girl. She wasn't standing. She was crouched low, her dark head tilted in a strange way, watching him leave. And just before his truck finally got out of the valley's heavy darkness, Mike thought he saw her lift a hand. Not to wave, but to slowly, carefully, cover her mouth, as if stopping another quiet giggle. Mike never went back to Black Creek Valley. But what happened there never left him. Sometimes, late at night, in the quiet of his home, he feels a cold shiver. And then, at first softly, the whispers begin. Broken, meaningless, but always there. They come from the darkest corners of his room, pushing inside his mind. He knows she's not a ghost that can be helped or explained. She's a basic, terrifying presence, an old shadow whose scary actions are quiet, mind-bending, and never-ending. Her whispers will never stop. Because in Black Creek Valley, and now for Mike, the scary story of the whispering child simply is. It's an eternal, active, and impossible to solve horror. Please like and share this story and subscribe to my YouTube channel The Midnight Stories.